And the Philippines telecommunications providers are rolling out free calls, data, and other support for Filipinos in parts of the Middle East as tensions escalate in the region. With us for more, PLDT Global's Chief Operating Officer, Edith Gomez-Cudiamat, live from Barcelona. Good seeing you again, Edith. Welcome back to the program.
Hi, Kathy. Good seeing you. Good morning, everyone.
All right, so get us up to speed on the offer of free calls, data, and support as the conflict continues in the Middle East. I mean, PLDT and SMART have done this in previous moments when we had these tensions. But what makes this round different?
All right. In response with the ongoing tensions in parts of the Middle East, PLDT Global activated an OFW support initiative to help Filipinos in the affected regions to stay connected to their families and access assistance when needed. So through the SMART virtual number in the TinBo app, our fellow Filipinos in Iran, Iraq, Israel, Bahrain, Kuwait, Oman, Qatar, the UAE, and the Saudi Arabia can make free calls to the Philippines to any Philippine mobile or landline number, including PLDT, SMART, TNT, and other networks.
So
just as importantly,
consider this to be the biggest by far, extended
it
to
is,
our OFWs in the Middle East?
It is actually, and also the families in the Philippines from PLDT and SMART, they can also make free calls to the countries that I have mentioned.
Yeah, in the 48 hours you've started offering that service, could you give us some color? I mean, what's been the rate of use so far of calls being made from the Middle East to the Philippines and those from here to the Middle East?
Okay, inbound calls from the regions here outside to the Philippines, we are monitoring about 2 to 3 calls per OFWs. We've been tracking more than 300 calls from the outside to the inside, and we're expecting more calls from the Philippines into the Middle East countries.
Yeah,
that is within the first 48 hours of launching the service.
Right, but as we've seen, the drone strikes, it could hit any infrastructure since the conflict began. Has it been difficult to connect people at this point? And what are you doing as a workaround?
Okay, right now what we've been seeing is that there's no glitches being experienced by our OFWs. All calls are terminating 100%. But if the situation arises, we are ready and we are prepared to extend this support with our OFWs. If need be, we will reach with our carrier partners here outside to be able to extend the support as needed.
Right, and it helps that you have the TinBo app. That is the digital app layer that carries many of those free calls. What's been the usage so far on that particular app?
Okay, so for TinBo usage, as mentioned, we are experiencing 2 to 3 calls per user per day. So they are doing short calls to the Philippines to be able to update their family members about their situations. So the free calls is actually limitless to our OFWs from the time that it has been launched until to the March 15. But we are ready to extend the date as needed.
And as needed would mean when? Because as I understand, it's March 7th for calls from here to the Middle East and March 15th for those calls coming from the Middle East.
Yes, so it is right now based on those dates, but we are ready to extend the date as needed.
All right, and the collaboration you have with the government agencies, the MW and OWA, how many of those calls get to these agencies for support for our OFWs?
Actually, right now we're seeing a lot of calls into the DMW 1348 hotline. The service is actually not only available during this period. We have activated these free calls 24/7 to our OFWs since the start and the launch of the service. But recently we've been observing increase of traffic into this OFW 1248 hotline.
And that indeed will also be extended along with the free calls if indeed you find that this will be necessary. All right. Well, thank
It
you
is.
so much for the update, Edith. Safe travels back to Manila. Edith Gomez-Cudiamat, the COO of PLDT Global.